Welcome to the Crime Report, where we delve into the darkest corners of real-life mysteries. From unsolved murders to shocking criminal conspiracies, we explore the stories that shook the world. Each episode, we take you step by step through the investigation, uncovering the truth behind the headlines and the secrets that still remain hidden. If you're a fan of crime stories, stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Get ready, because we're about to uncover a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat.
The Vanishing Lights of Briston County, Part 1, Flickers in the Fog. Briston County was once a proud industrial town, filled with the clang of steel and the steady hum of machines. But those days were long gone. By 2017, most of the factories had shut down, and the town had slipped into quiet decay. The people who remained lived in hollowed-out neighborhoods surrounded by fog and silence. On a Tuesday night in November, the power flickered in the North District again. Most locals blamed it on aging power lines, but some claimed something else was to blame. Something older. Something watching. At 9:17 p.m., Eliza Benton, a 32-year-old librarian, vanished. Her porch light was on, tea still steaming on the kitchen table. No sign of struggle. No footprints. Just gone. Detective Marcus Vell had seen a lot in his 20-year career, but Briston was different. It wasn't the first time someone had disappeared without a trace. Eliza was the seventh this year. Locals whispered about the Briston lights, faint, glowing orbs seen hovering near the woods before someone vanished. Urban legend, Vell assumed. But legends don't leave behind empty houses and cracked mirrors. Vell visited Eliza's home the next morning. Her cat was still inside, hiding under the couch, hissing at the hallway. Every mirror had a hairline crack. No signs of a break-in. No fingerprints. Just that same heavy silence he'd come to dread. Behind her house was a narrow trail that led into the woods. Vell spotted one set of footprints leading in, but none coming out. The Briston forest wasn't just thick. It was ancient. The trees here bent strangely, almost as if leaning in to listen. Stories about the forest dated back to the 1800s, when a mining camp deep inside collapsed, killing 27 men. Some said their spirits never left. About half a mile in, Vell found a scorched circle on the forest floor. It was perfectly shaped, no debris, no ash. The air smelled like ozone, and his teeth vibrated slightly from a strange hum in the ground. He knelt down to inspect it when a branch cracked behind him. He spun around. Nothing there. But the hum didn't stop. It grew stronger, deeper, almost like a voice with no mouth. Back at his office that evening, Vell reviewed reports from past disappearances. A pattern emerged. Each person vanished during power outages. Each one lived near the forest. Each had received something strange before they vanished. A note, a dream, a sound. That night, as he left the station, Vell found a VHS tape in his mailbox. It was unmarked except for one word, written in red ink: listen. He dusted off an old player and inserted the tape. Grainy footage filled the screen. Someone running through the woods, the camera shaking. Trees flashed by. Then a mechanical screech. Then dozens of whispers layered over each other. He stopped the tape. The air in the room felt thicker. He walked to the window and pulled the curtain back. Across the street light flickered. And for a second, just a second, he saw something standing in the fog. The Vanishing Lights of Briston County, Part 2, Static and Shadows. Detective Marcus Vell didn't sleep that night. Not just because of the VHS tape or the thing in the fog, but because something was changing. Something in Briston was waking up. And he was caught in the middle of it. At 6:12 a.m., the power went out again, this time across the entire county. Traffic lights died. Phones dropped service. The silence was deafening. The police station operated on backup generators. Vell sat at his desk, watching the security camera footage from the night before. At 3:12 a.m., exactly when something tapped on his window, the street camera outside his house glitched. Static. 4:37 seconds. Vell rewound it frame by frame. For just a moment, something shaped like a man appeared. Tall. Wrong. As if its joints bent the wrong way. He printed the frame and pinned it to the board. 7 disappearances, 1 tape, 1 burned forest patch, and now this. Captain Delaney called him in. Another missing person. Robert Jenkins. night shift worker at the Briston substation. Disappeared sometime after 2 a.m. His flashlight was found outside the gate, still on. Vell drove out there with Officer Holloway. The substation was surrounded by rusted fencing, humming transformers, and cracked pavement. But something felt off. Time felt slower here. Inside the control room, monitors were frozen. One displayed static. Another showed flickering white shapes moving through the trees. Holloway stepped closer, and the screen shorted out completely. Vell found Jenkins' hard hat on the floor near the emergency exit. Next to it, written in black marker on a wall, "Do not follow the hum." They returned to the precinct. Vell reviewed a pattern he hadn't noticed before. All disappearances happened within 72 hours of a strange hum being reported. Low, electric, like a machine trying to speak. And there was something else. In each report, the victim had received a signal. An audio distortion, radio interference, even a dream where a static voice whispered coordinates. He pulled up Eliza Benton's final internet search. It was a frequency 1420.8 megahertz, part of the SETI spectrum. She'd been trying to listen to something. That evening, Vell drove to the far edge of Briston County, to the old radio observatory that had been shut down since 1998. It sat alone on a hill, covered in vines, its satellite dish pointed skyward like a blind eye. He broke the chain on the door and stepped inside. The air smelled like mildew and dust. Equipment lined the walls: tape decks, static monitors, recorders. He powered on one of the backup generators. The old machines groaned to life. Static flooded the speakers. Then, 5 tones, repeating, faint but deliberate. Vell recorded it, heart pounding. As he stepped outside, the wind picked up. Fog rolled in fast, and down the hill, standing by his car, was someone. He called out. No answer. He took a step forward. The figure didn't move. Another step. Then the figure turned and vanished. By the time Vell got to his car, there was no one there. Just a single item placed on his windshield, a Polaroid. It showed himself, asleep in bed, taken from inside his house. Time-stamped, last night, 3:12 a.m. The Vanishing Lights of Briston County, Part 3. The signal below. Detective Marcus Vell sat alone in his kitchen, staring at the Polaroid. His reflection in the window was pale, motionless. Someone had been inside his house. Someone or something that had bypassed locks, alarms, and reason. He didn't sleep. Instead, he played the audio pulse he had recorded at the observatory on loop. 5 tones, repeating, always the same, until 3:12 a.m. Then the tone changed. A distorted voice spoke through the static. Just one sentence in a hollow metallic rasp. Below the roots, where the lights were born. He froze, then grabbed his notebook. The phrase matched an old miner's folktale from 1903 about ghostly lights deep underground in the old Southridge mines. The same mines that collapsed, killing 27 men. And they were located directly beneath Briston Forest. Vell geared up. Flashlight, gun, old mining blueprints. He didn't tell anyone where he was going. At the forest edge, the fog hung thicker than ever. Birds were silent. Even the trees seemed to lean inward, hiding secrets. He found the hidden entrance, an old supply shaft covered by rotting boards. He pried them loose. A gust of warm air, damp and humming, rushed out. He descended slowly, the air growing warmer and heavier. The walls pulsed with faint, bioluminescent moss. The hum got louder, rhythmic, like breathing. A few hundred meters in, he saw the first sign, a symbol painted in red across a wall. It matched the one burned into Eliza Benton's cracked mirror. 3 intersecting circles. Then the lights began to appear, floating orbs of soft blue light, dancing silently through the passage ahead. He followed. The passage widened into a subterranean chamber. Machinery sat rusting in corners, mining gear from another era. But in the center was something new, a spiraling metal structure reaching up into the ceiling like a twisted antenna. Surrounding it were dozens of Polaroids, taped to the walls, the floor, the equipment. All of the missing people. All of them staring directly into the camera, eyes wide. He approached the tower. It pulsed with energy. A screen flickered on its base. A face appeared, Eliza Benton. But her mouth didn't move. Instead, the machine spoke in that same synthetic voice. The lights are not ours. We were only the first to listen. Vell backed away, heart pounding. Then a second face appeared. Robert Jenkins. Then a third. All the missing victims. A sequence. A message. And then his own face. On the wall behind him, a new Polaroid appeared, still developing. He hadn't taken it. No one had. But it showed him standing in the chamber, just as he was now. Suddenly, the ground shook. The structure flared. The lights grew brighter, spinning, merging, forming a ring above the machine. He turned and ran. The mine groaned, debris falling. He climbed, lungs burning. The lights chased him, humming louder, whispering unintelligible words. He burst out of the shaft just before it collapsed behind him, burying the entrance in rubble and silence. Vell didn't speak of what he saw. He turned in his badge the next day and left Briston County for good. But sometimes, late at night, he still hears that five-tone signal, hidden in static, humming from nowhere. And he knows the lights are still there, waiting.
If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more thrilling mysteries like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your likes and shares help us grow and bring even more gripping tales to life. Thanks for listening.